Hello, my name is Dr. Yaya Sissoko. Today we're going to talk about Chapter 5, Elasticity and its application, the elasticity of demand. The concept of elasticity allows us to make quantitative observation about the impact of changes in supply and demand on equilibrium prices and quantities. We know that when supply or demand shifted, like we talk about in chapter 4, we want to know exactly by how much supply and demand are going to shift and what is the impact of that shift on the demand, on the equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity. The concept of elasticity, allow us to determine that. So we begin with the definition of elasticity. Elasticity measures the responsiveness of quantity demanded or quantity supply to a change in one of its determinants. Usually the determinant of supply and demand are prices, income, taste, technology, for instance. So price elasticity of demand tell us how much quantity demanded of a good respond, responds to a change in the price of that good. So how do you compute price elasticity of demand? To compute a price elasticity of demand, we take the percentage change in quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in the price. For instance, let's use the market of ice cream that we talk about in chapter 4. If prices of ice cream increases by 5%, and this will lead to a decrease in the quantity demand of ice cream by 10%. So therefore, the value of the elasticity would be 10 divided by 5, which is equal to 2. Usually it should be negative 2. By the we drop the minus sign and focus only on the absolute value of the elasticity. We know that by the law of demand, increasing the price will lead to decrease in the quantity demanded. We focus only on the absolute value. So these two mean what? That a 1% increase in the price of ice cream will lead to a 2% decrease in the quantity demanded of ice cream. So if elastic demand mean that a quantity demanded responds substantially to a change in price. This means that usually demand is elastic, the value of elasticity is greater than 1. In elastic demand, on the other hand, quantity demanded responds only slightly to change in the price. Usually, the value of the elasticity uh, if the value of elasticity is less than 1, then we say that demand is inelastic. So the determinant of price elasticity depend on availability of close substitute. Goods with close substitute tend to have a more elastic demand. For instance, laundry detergent or clothing tend to have more elastic demand. Also, necessity good versus luxury good. Necessity good tend to be inelastic demand. Luxury good, on the other hand, tend to be elastic demand. For instance, the demand for food, which is a necessity good, will have an elastic demand. The demand for vacation to Disney World or to Paris will have an elastic demand. So to compute the price elasticity of demand, the first method can be taking the percentage change in the quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in the price. And we use the absolute value, we're going to drop the minus signs. For instance, if the price of gasoline increases by the 10%, the quantity demanded of gasoline will decrease by 5%. Therefore, the value of elasticity would be, 5, -5 divided by 10, which is going to be negative half. We drop the minus sign, it's going to be half. So the value of elasticity will be half, meaning that a 1% increase in the price of gasoline will reduce the quantity demanded of gasoline by half a percent. So, and by the way, because the value of the elasticity is less than 1, then we say that the price elasticity of gasoline would be inelastic. So another method to compute the value of price elasticity is the midpoint formula. The use of the midpoint formula will avoid so having different value of the elasticity. So you take 2 points with coordinate, P1 and P1 and Q2 and P2, then the price elasticity of demand would be, you take the difference of the quantity divided by half of the sum of the quantity, Q2 plus Q1 divided by 2. Everything divided by the difference of the price, P2 minus P1, divided by and half of the sum of the price, P2 plus P1 divided by 2. So with respect to the variety of demand curve, demand is elastic when the price elasticity of demand is greater than 1, meaning that the percentage change in the quantity is greater than the percentage change of the price. Whenever the percentage change in the quantity is greater than the percentage change in the price, then demand will be inelastic. For instance, if the price is, decreases by 15%, quantity demanded increases by 25%, then the demand for that good would be elastic. So demand is inelastic whenever the price elasticity of demand is less than 1. So in this case, the percentage change of the quantity is less than the percentage change of the price. For instance, you know, price increases by 20%, and then quantity, percent quantity decreases by 10%. So the demand will be inelastic. So demand as unit elasticity, meaning that so the value of the elasticity equal to 1. Therefore, the percentage change of the quantity is exactly equal to the percentage change of the price. Say prices increases by 40%, quantity will decrease by 40%, then the value of the elasticity will be 1. 40 divided by 40 will be 1. Demand is perfectly inelastic when the price elasticity of demand equal to 0. So in this case, demand curve is going to be vertical. So we meaning that the percentage change in the quantity is exactly equal to 0 for any change in the price. Demand is perfectly elastic when the price elasticity of demand is infinity. So in this case, demand curve is going to be horizontal. So meaning that the percentage change of the price equal to 0 for any change in the quantity. So we can say that the flatter the demand curve, the greater is the elasticity of demand. Figure 1 summarize the price elasticity of demand in panel A and panel B. Panel A, perfectly inelastic demand. The value of the elasticity equal to 0. In this case, if there is an increase of the price from 4 to $5, so that increase will leave the quantity demanded unchanged. So you can see that the demand curve is vertical, so there is no change in the quantity. Example of this type of demand could be prescription drugs. So if you have a diabetes or high blood pressure, you take the same quantity of medicine every day. In that case, that regardless of the price, you buy the same quantity of drug, so every month. On the other end, panel B show inelastic demand where the value of the elasticity is less than 1. For instance, an increase of a 20% increase in the price of the gold led to the 11% decrease in the quantity. In this case, demand will be inelastic. The 11 divided by 22 equal to half, and which is less than 1. So panel C here show unit elasticity demand where the value of the elasticity equal to 1. In this situation, a 20% increase in the price of the gold will lead to a 20% decrease in the quantity demanded. And therefore, the value of elasticity equal to exactly to 1. 22 divided by 22 equal to 1. A 1% increase in the price will lead to a 1% decrease in the quantity. From figure one, we have the price elasticity of demand, panel A, E, and panel D and E. Panel D, we have elastic demand where the value of elasticity is greater than 1. For instance, a 22% increase in the price of the good led to 67% decrease in quantity demanded. Therefore, the value of the elasticity is 67 divided by 22, that's equal to 3, which is greater than 1. In panel E, we have a perfectly elastic demand with the value of the elasticity equal to infinity. So we can see that we have the horizontal demand curve. So at any price above 4, quantity demand equal to 0. At exactly 4, consumer will buy any quantity. At a price below $4, quantity demand is infinite. Therefore, the value of the elasticity is infinite because you're dividing by 0 in that case. So one example of this type of market is the stock market where the demand is horizontal.